These local valleys that we are going to describe today as living room slaves have no other guide than to seek to live like the master, to satisfy the master, and to do everything that the master dictates. They steal, they plunder our states, take everything to the master, and their wealth is kept with the master. They do everything to live like their master and always satisfy him. When the master commands, they execute. Do you know who these parlor slaves are? We will explain to you what it is. These are individuals who have no dignity, who have no morals, who have no personality. But the slave master always knew how to identify these individuals. They are always ready to betray their brother to satisfy the master. They have betrayed us since independence, and others continue to betray us until today for the benefit of their master. These individuals always continue against all odds to plunder Africa, to help the master to plunder Africa. They like to say it every year. In their economic survey, Burkina is the poorest country, Mali is the poorest country, Niger is the poorest country. We are ranked among the last. All right, if we are as poor as they say, but when the time came to take responsibility, we asked these masters to leave the place. Why don't they want to leave? Because we take the case of Niger. For more than 40 years, certain countries have exploited uranium to produce energy at home. From Ottawa to Paris, the streets are illuminated. It's light. But in Niger, it's darkness. Security that served us. When you go to our states, our soils are drilled all over to search for precious metals such as gold. But often, there is not even the slightest accessible road to reach areas where they exploit some basic social services. This is why we decided to revolt and take the destiny of our countries into our own hands. There are many other examples, but when we decided this, we were approached by some parlor slaves to give us their master's message, because they had created this sort of polymer chain that sticks up at the head of our states to serve them. And we have come to break the chain, and it's inconceivable for them. They therefore approached us and asked us to join the ranks to form part of the elite who must lead Africa, because they have a trained and formatted elite who must follow, who are embedded in this chain. We refused to join their ranks, and from then on, hostilities began. They have led several mercenaries, trainers, and agents into our areas who have descended into the Sahel to hope to carry out barbaric, cowardly attacks against our populations, to hope to revolt them. In addition to these attacks on the ground, communicational attacks, manipulation, disinformation, etc., are full in their souls. But the people of the Sahel have understood, and we will never be able to manipulate them again.
You know, it's very, very bad when someone fights you over something that belongs to you. It's really very bad, and it's a bad habit and a bad character. It's something that I find it so difficult to love it at all. It's something I find it so difficult to support it at all. People in Congo, innocent people in Congo, are dying every day, every time, and uh, maybe we don't know who is fighting the people in Congo, or rather who is fighting Congo. But if it's an African country, shame on you. Whoever that one is, whoever the person is, shame on you, shame on you, shame on you. Because the M23 are black people. How, like, I really condemn that thing. Whatever the reason you are having, or whatever the conflicts you're having, is none of our business. But shame on you if you are the kind of a person who would start fighting people who, like, black people. It's bad for black people to fight black people. Black brother fighting a black brother, black sister fighting a black sister. What is your problem? Don't you see the people are crying? Those people who are getting out of their houses, they're going to refugee camps because they have no places they can go. And you are a black person, you're fighting a black person. I find it so difficult. It doesn't matter whoever the M23 people are from. It doesn't matter they're being supported by the whites, by the Western countries, Western powers, Western supremacy. It doesn't matter whether they're being supported by those people. It doesn't matter. whether they are being supported by a black country. There are allegations that Rwanda is behind the war that is on Congo. Okay, so myself, I don't care. It doesn't matter whether it's Rwanda, whether it's Western powers, whether it's foreign countries, maybe Western countries. It doesn't matter. What matters is that the M23 people are not whites; they're blacks, but they're fighting other black people, the fellow black people. You're bombing cities, you're bombing children's. What is your problem? Tshisekedi, the president of Congo, is speaking with so much pain within his heart, in his heart. He can be a puppet, but he is speaking with so much pain because you're pushing him to the corner. It's so bad when a brother fights a brother. It's so bad when a sister fights a sister. Instead, black people should be coming together and supporting each other, holding each other's hands. You hold the hand of your friend. You should be coming together and helping each other. Shouldn't be fighting. And these are the kind of things that Ibrahim Traore is trying to take out of Africa. Africans should not be fighting Africans. Africa should unite. Unity is important. Ibrahim Traore talks about unity every day. And the Sahel is growing because of unity. Sahel is beginning to advance and do great things because of unity. When Traore is talking about unity, other people from Africa are fighting Africans. Look at what is happening at the Sahel region. Look at what is happening in Burkina Faso. Look at what is happening in Niger and Mali. Look at what is happening there. People, villagers, whenever they see people or other people coming to fight coming to fight them, they join hands together, they unite. Africans should be uniting themselves. Let us unite the countries of Africa and our nations together, not fighting a brother fighting a brother, a sister fighting a sister. What's that? It's very bad when a brother begins fighting a brother. When you're paid by a certain person, you're paid that go and fight this person. You refuse. Don't do it. Don't accept that payment. When you are bought to go and buy and fight someone, you need to refuse. You need to say no to that. You don't need to accept something like that because it's bad. You don't need to accept. If you're a black man, a black person, and you see a black person or a black sister, okay, you need to be helping them, holding their hands, and telling them, helping them, whatever they need help, you help them, not fighting them. See at what is happening in Congo. People are dying every day in Congo. And someone is there just, those people are calling themselves M23 are black people, man. They're black people. How do you feel when you fight your brother and you're a black? They are blacks like you. How do you feel? This message, this statement from Tshisekedi, the president of Congo, he is encouraging himself, but he feels so bad. He really feels so bad at what is happening in Congo. He does not feel good. And if you're there, you have your conflicts. Can you solve your conflicts in a diplomatic way? You can always solve issues in a diplomatic way. If it's an African country, if it's Rwanda, as it's alleged, you can solve your problems in a diplomatic way. If it's Western countries, kindly get out of our country, get out of Africa. Get out of Africa. Africa needs to begin ruling itself. You've done enough. You've done it for quite some time, and it's enough right now. You don't need to continue doing it anymore. Innocent people are dying. How do you feel when innocent people are dying every day? That blood is in your hands, and it's not going to get out of your hands. We need peace in Africa. Africa needs to be a peaceful country, needs to be a peaceful nation. That is what we want. Unity is very important. Unity is very important. Good leaders are calling for unity. Ibrahim Traore is calling for unity. Can we unite ourselves together? Come on. Let's come together and unite ourselves for us to be able to to move forward. We cannot build Africa. We can't grow if we're not united. We can't live better if we are not united. We can't live peacefully if we are not united. We need to be united. Unity is what matters. Come on. Unity is what matters. When people are talking about unity, we need to be listening. We need to be to understand that unity is strength. When we come together, we can be able to defeat and do a lot of things. I'll benefit from Congo in a good way if I want to benefit from Congo without fighting Congo. If we are united, I'll benefit from Rwanda in a good way if I want to benefit from Rwanda without fighting. I can benefit from Kenya. Kenya can benefit from Uganda in a good way. Uganda can benefit from Tanzania in a good way without fighting. Rwanda can benefit from Burundi in a good way without fighting. It's not a matter you must fight your friend for you to be able to acquire whatever your friend has. Because when you're fighting them under your issues. Like you have your personal issues that's making you to fight another person, and you're killing other innocent people. It's so bad when innocent people are dying. It's very bad. I just can't support it. I find it so difficult to understand. And it's something that is very embarrassing. Something that it's very, 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 very bad. Like it's just very bad. I don't like it at all. I don't like it. Listen to this statement from Felix Tshisekedi, the president of Congo. Just listen to what he's saying. But I hope you've listened to Ibrahim Traore when he was talking about unity. Unity is what matters. Let's embrace unity. When we are united together, we can be strong and we can defeat our enemies. But if we can begin fighting ourselves, when we begin fighting ourselves, then we are asking, we are telling the enemy is beginning to be happy because we will start being weak. We are weakening ourselves. When we get weak, then the enemy will find it very easy to defeat us, which is not good. We have to change as Africans. We really have to change. Listen to the Sekedi, what he's saying.
My dear compatriots, in these critical moments for our nation, I address you with the gravity and the solemnity imposed by the situation. The east of our country, in particular the provinces of North Kivu, South Kivu, and Latori, faces an unprecedented aggravation of the security situation. The Rwandan Defense Forces, in support of their puppets of the M23, continue their terrorist operations on our territory, sowing terror and desolation among our populations. I share with you the pain and indignation faced by these barbaric attacks. These acts are not only an attack against the Republic, but an offense to the history and dignity of our people. In these difficult times, I call you to resilience and, above all, to resistance. Faced with this situation, allow me to reassure you, a vigorous and coordinated response against these terrorists and their puppets is underway. Our valiant armed forces of the Democratic Republic of Congo, symbols of courage and patriotism, are fully mobilized, ready to defend every inch of our territory. I have personally convened and chaired crisis meetings with a restricted team of the government, the High Military Command, as well as an interinstitutional meeting in order to assess the recent developments of the situation and to raise the options to repel the attackers and reconquer each plot of our territory. As a result, on January 28th, I appointed Major General Everest Somo Kakule to the post of Military Governor of North Kivu to strengthen the coordination of military operations and restore the authority of the state. At the same time, we have undertaken important diplomatic steps, notably within the Security Council of the United Nations, as well as within the framework of the peace process in Rwanda, to which we remain fully engaged despite the obstacles. We favor the path of dialogue, but always with lucidity, while remaining firmly resolute to defend our territory and our sovereignty by all means necessary. But this fight is not only that of the FRDC, it is the fight of an entire people, the fight of our Congolese identity, in order to bind to future generations a prosperous and peaceful country. To all our compatriots in every province, every city, every territory, and every village, as well as those of the diaspora, without distinction of ethnic or political affiliation, let us unite our efforts. Let us provide moral and material support to our valiant soldiers. Let us mobilize as one man to defend our sovereignty and safeguard our territorial integrity. I am fully aware of the suffering of our compatriots who flee hostilities. The government is instructed to activate the humanitarian emergency plan to assist the displaced. To you, inhabitants of Goma and its surroundings, I deeply feel your pain, which is also mine. It crosses our hearts and our souls as sons and daughters of the same homeland. But in the face of this ordeal, I urge you to rely on this inner strength, which is the greatness of the Congolese people. Resist with courage, show constant vigilance, and keep calm despite adversity. Know that we have not remained inactive. Contingency plans are prepared to ensure the protection of the civilian population and prevent any escalation of violence. Security measures have been reinforced to protect strategic areas, and we are working relentlessly to guarantee the functioning of essential services. I want to pay a solemn tribute to all those who have paid the ultimate price in this struggle for our dignity and our sovereignty. I have a pious thought for General Major Peter Chirimwami, military governor of North Kivu, who dropped his weapons. I bow with respect in front of the memory of all our soldiers and all the Wazalendo who fell on the field of honor. I also think of the soldiers of the mission of the African-Australian Development Community, the SAMI DRC, who fight alongside us, the blue helmets of the MONUSCO, who sacrifice their lives for peace, as well as the innumerable civilians victims of enemy barbarism. Their courage and their sacrifices will never be forgotten, and we carry their flambeau with a firm determination to complete their noble fight. I would like to call upon the international community and the African Union. Rwanda continues to openly violate and unscrupulously violate the fundamental principles of the United Nations Charter, as well as the regional agreements. Worse, these actions are carried out in total impunity and with a manifest contempt for the international rules and values that these institutions are supposed to defend. This arrogant attitude, which no longer even seeks to hide its misdeeds, is an unacceptable provocation for regional stability. The presence of thousands of Rwandan soldiers on our soil, their political, logistical, and military support at the helm of the M23, as well as their involvement in 2008, the illegal exploitation of our natural resources, lead us straight to an escalation with unpredictable consequences, endangering the entire region of the Great Lakes. Your silence and your inaction against the barbarism and the atrocities perpetrated by these suppletives on our territory constitute an affront not only to the Democratic Republic of Congo, but also to the universal values of justice and peace. The Congolese people take action of this passivity, which frowns on complicity. Be sure of one thing: the Democratic Republic of Congo will not be humiliated or crushed, and we will triumph. Congolese and Congolese, the time is certainly grave, but our determination is even more unwavering. This critical moment offers us the opportunity to show the world what makes our strength, that is, our unity, without which all our efforts would be in vain. I call you to be vigilant, but not to give in to hatred, division, or violence. I condemn with the utmost firmness the acts of vandalism and plunder which have targeted certain diplomatic missions accredited in the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as private interests in the city of Kinshasa. These irresponsible behaviors denature the healthy expression of our anger against the barbaric aggression imposed on us and cast a shadow on the peaceful demonstrations led by the armed forces who fight with courage and abnegation to defend our sovereignty. Our commitment must remain firm and disciplined. We will win this war by our unity, our courage, and our sense of responsibility, and not by violence, blindness, and anarchy. This victory will only be possible if every Congolese, wherever he is, participates in the fight which is ours. I therefore call on the entire nation, men and women, young and old, political actors, economic operators, members of civil society, religious denominations, artists and athletes to mobilize, to stand behind our valiant armed forces and to contribute, each at his level, to this common cause. I have instructed the government to put in place rigorous measures to reduce the lifespan of institutions and their operators so that the resources saved are directly redirected to support our armed forces. In this national effort, I also call on the responsibility of the private sector, which is invited to actively contribute to this common cause. Our soldiers fight heroically to defend our territorial integrity and our sovereignty. They need our total support, be it moral, material, or logistical. To the Congolese youth, pillars and hope of our nation, I urge you to respond massively to the call of the homeland. The time has come to rise up, to put your energy in the service of the nation. We must strengthen our ranks, and each young Congolese ready to defend his country has a place in our armed forces. Enroll massively in the army. You are the spearhead of our project, and your mobilization is decisive for the final victory. To the brave people of North Kivu, of the Congolese resilience, a source of inspiration for the whole nation. You are not alone in this struggle. The Republic as a whole stands by your side, united in hope and struggle. Together we will face and overcome this challenge. To our valiant armed forces and to the valiant patriots of Wazalendo, a true sentry, I pay tribute and express to you, on behalf of the whole Republic, our infinite gratitude and our unwavering pride. Your bravery, your discipline, and your commitment without fail inspire and mobilize a whole people determined to defend its territory. Know this, the Republic will never abandon you. Your fight is ours, and your sacrifices will never be forgotten. You embody the honor of the Congolese nation. To all my compatriots from here and from the diaspora, the Democratic Republic of Congo will not bend. The Democratic Republic of Congo will not retreat. I will never abandon you. I make an oath here. The sun has not ceased to shine on our homeland. Together, hand in hand, we will overcome this storm, and we will open a new era of peace and prosperity for future generations. May God bless the Democratic Republic of Congo and its people. Thank you.